But one of the other things I talk about, Joe Mike, is the fact that Texas Tech is in a really unique position right now. They're trying to become the permanent kings of the Big 12. Texas Tech is in the Big 12. The Big 12 is the third best conference in college football. It goes SEC, Big 10, Big Drop, Big 12, and then Big Drop in ACC. But in the Big 12, you basically have Texas Tech, Utah, and BYU. Those are the top three dogs. And Texas Tech is the top dog. And one of the reasons they're the top dog, they have more money than God because of where Texas Tech is. And a lot of you have never been to Texas. You should go to Texas and check it out. It's a very interesting place called Texas. And if you ever go there, you'll notice it's really, really big. Like, really big. And one of the parts of Texas is called Northwest Texas. And if you ever go to Northwest Texas, you'll notice something. There's nothing there. It's all oil fields and farmers and ranchers and big giant wind farm. What do you call those? The turbines? They're gigantic. There's oil, there's wind, there's farmers, there's ranchers, but that's it. And then there's Texas Tech right there. So all of those people who are all rich running all of those operations up there, oil, wind, ranchers, farmers, they're all extremely wealthy. Extremely wealthy. And so they're all Texas Tech alums. So they all support Texas Tech as boosters. So Texas Tech has tons and tons of money, plus they have Patrick Mahomes as a alumnus, which really helps. So they're trying to run the Big 12. And if you think they're not paying off these prognosticators to try and move David Bailey, in this case, up the rankings, you're out of your mind. Because it really, really, really would help them if David Bailey would go 2 or 3 or as high up as they can get him, you see. Because that helps their recruiting. One of the things that's really problematic, and I know this from talking to people at UCF, let's just put it like that. One of the things, we're also in the Big 12, by the way. So we have to compete against those fuckers. And we could talk about Lee Hunter if you really want to, but let's not get Frankie upset. But the thing about it is that the competitive landscape for talent has completely shifted in college football now. Because of NIL rev share, we're paying these guys all kinds of money. The competitive landscape and the portals, the 2 portals they had, now they have 1 portal, but no portal restrictions as of right now. You could transfer schools as many times as you want. These guys it's a very, very competitive landscape to land talent. And everyone is starting to understand in college football now, the more talent you have, the further you're going. And the further you go, even if you really don't even care about football at a university drives everything else. This is the thing that Indiana University is discovering now. Football at a university drives everything else. It drives how many donors are going to give you money. It drives how many kids are going to apply to go there. It drives how many smart kids, the smarter kids now, are going to apply to go to your school and get in there. So it drives enrollment. It drives donor dollars. It drives everything. The football team is everything. It's really weird. It's really strange. It's kind of weird, but that's the world we're living in now. That's why it makes total sense for Indiana University to give Curt Cignetti whatever amount of money he wants, because he has completely turned around that program. They're now a powerhouse, whereas they used to be a laughingstock, and in 2 years, he turned that whole fucking thing around, and he is now worth whatever he wants, because now Indiana University is getting donors that come out of the woodwork to give them money, and they're getting people who want to go there, regular students, and football players want to go there now, and basketball players, and all the kind of players, and all the sports, and they're getting higher levels of the smarter students who are going to then be able to do research, and you're going to be able to get research grants that you couldn't get before because you didn't have the students. And now it's going to influence how many great faculty you can hire, who are then going to go on to do great research and spin off great companies. So this is all the world of football that nobody ever talks about. It is a driver. And nobody ever talks about this. It's weird. But that's the reality of college football today. And so if you think that Texas Tech or any of these big schools aren't going to use their muscle and their might, and then you have the collectives, you have the boosters. If you think those entities are not going to do everything in their power in all areas to get a better football team, you're crazy. And in this case, it means doing whatever you can to influence the people who are influential. In this case, McShidhead, whether it's Kuiper, McShidhead, Daniel Jeremiah, all these people. If you think they're not going to do whatever it takes to influence them, you're crazy. They are. And look at it from their point of view. What difference does it make if one week McShidhead has Bailey going to the Jets? That's his opinion 2 weeks ago. So for that, he receives whatever he receives from the collective, from the boosters, however, maybe it's a case of 61 Petrus. We don't know. But it's something. Hey, he gets it. All right. Then the next week he goes and says it's going to be Reese. Does anybody care? Is he going to get fired? Is he going to get reprimanded in the media? Is anybody going to say anything other than Frankie? No, they're not. Nobody remembers what these fuckers said. So now he's got a case of 61 Petrus sitting in his house that he didn't have before, all because he said, my opinion is this guy. My opinion now has changed to this guy. Well, what does he care? It's an opinion. Can't get sued. It's not illegal. So what are we talking about? That's the real world. That is the real deal, Holyfield. Frankie bomb. You're not going to hear this kind of thing anywhere else. I'll tell you that much.